Hey guys, this is Pam Baldwin. I am working on a spread for my album for the month of March to document a special event. So one of my very best friends since middle school, so I don't know, that's been a long time now, like 25 years maybe. Um, Maybe more, maybe less. I can't remember. Anyway, one of my very best friends, she's getting married, and so we recently had a bridal shower for her. And I've got lots of fun pictures from the event, and I want to make this spread just a little bit of something extra special. So I'm going to add a little bit of stitching to my spread this week on a 3x4 card for one of my pockets. And this process video is going to show you how I did that using the digital stamp from this month's 6x8 stamp set. So I'm working in Photoshop Elements version 15. I am going to start. I've got this is my best friend. This is Tammy and her husband to be Mike. I'm going to start off by making a new canvas, a 3x4 canvas, which is going to be a blank file. I want it to be 300 pixels per inch, and I need it to be 3 inches wide and 4 inches tall. And I also have a copy of the stamp that I want to use. So I've picked this one that just says Full of Joy. I am going to drag that stamp right up onto my 3x4 canvas, and I want this to fill in a pretty good chunk of the canvas. So it's going to act kind of as a filler card, and I think that looks pretty good. So one of the things that I want to tell you about here is that I'm going to be printing this onto a dark patterned 3x4 card from the actual Documenter kit itself. So I still need the color of my digital stamp to be fairly dark so that I'll be able to see it once it's printed onto my 3x4 dark background card. But if you're printing onto a lighter card, you don't really want the back of this stamp or the edges or the black showing behind your stitching. So if you're printing onto a lighter card, you might want to just lighten it up a bit by decreasing the opacity of the digital stamp. And you do that by going over to the top right corner. You'll see that there is an adjustment here for the opacity. Right now mine's set to 100%. So if I was printing it onto a lighter background, I would probably drop it way down so that I could see it when it's printed faintly, but it wouldn't necessarily stand out so much behind some stitching. For now, I'm going to go ahead and bump this right back up, and I am going to go ahead and print this on my 3x4 card. Okay, so I have my 3x4 Documenter kit card, and I have my digital stamp printed out on it. I've got a couple other supplies as well. So I've got kind of, it's almost like a mouse pad. It's just, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's like a foam pad to be able to go ahead and use a paper piercer on top of. And I have a yellow embroidery floss that I'm going to use for my design, and also just an embroidery needle. So what I need to do now is to kind of trace along this design of the digital stamp with my paper piercer, and I'm going to go ahead and punch some holes in there, leaving, I'd say it's probably about a 1/4 inch or so of space in between each of the holes that I'm punching. And I'm going to go around the entire design like this. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that very well in the video, but I've gone ahead and I've used my paper piercer to trace the entire outline of the digital stamp. The next step is going to be to go ahead and add some stitching to it. So I've got my embroidery floss here. One of the things that you can decide for yourself is how thick you want your embroidery floss to be. Because the design on my digital stamp is actually fairly wide, like the lines of it are actually fairly wide, I think I'm going to go ahead and see how it looks using all 6 strands that are included in my thread here. So I'm going to get started at the beginning or the first hole punch for my design and pull the thread through. And then I want to secure the end of the thread, the loose end, so that it doesn't fall out as I'm stitching. So I just have a spare piece of washi tape here that I'm going to use to attach it to the card, and hopefully in doing that I will not be covering up any of the holes that I've punched. And I can start stitching. Okay, so I have a newly embroidered or hand-stitched journaling card that's ready to go into my spread. So I've got all of my pictures printed and my journaling on my journaling cards. I am planning to make a 2-page 9x12 spread, and it's going to be a full 9x12 picture on one side, and then I want to use the 3x4 pockets on the other side. It's going to go over here. Okay, I think probably I'm gonna go really easy on the embellishments here. I definitely like that the colors all work together. The blues and the yellows are a fun color combination to work with. I've got some of the die cut pieces that I've cut in half over here, set out to create a little bit of a banner, and I'm gonna go ahead and stitch that down. And then a few of these chipboard heart embellishments, which are just completely my favorite, that I've got on a couple of the journaling cards to carry on the blue and to create a bit more consistency there. Might put a heart up here. Alright, last piece is just to stick everything down. Thanks for stopping by today.